The Cursed Dollhouse. Hey y'all, I gotta tell you about this crazy thing that happened to me a few years back when I started this new job. It was wild, like something out of a horror movie or one of those spooky stories you hear around a campfire. So, I just got hired at this antique shop, right? It was this old place with creaky wooden floors and dust-covered shelves filled with all sorts of weird stuff. My boss, Mr. Jenkins, was this grumpy old man who seemed to know everything about every item in that store. Anyway, one day Mr. Jenkins tells me he needs me to clean out the attic. Now, let me tell you, that attic was like something out of a nightmare. It was dark and musty, and there were cobwebs everywhere. But the weirdest thing of all was this old dollhouse tucked away in the corner. Now, this wasn't just any dollhouse. It was huge, like big enough for a real kid to play with, and it was creepy as heck, with these little dolls that looked like they were staring right into your soul. Mr. Jenkins told me it was cursed or something, and that I should leave it alone, but I didn't listen. I figured it was just an old superstition, you know? So, I started cleaning out the attic, and I couldn't stop thinking about that dollhouse. Finally, curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to take a closer look. As soon as I touched the dollhouse, I felt this chill run down my spine. It was like the air around me suddenly got colder, and I swear I heard whispering coming from inside. But I shook it off and opened up the dollhouse anyway. Inside, there were these little rooms that looked just like miniature versions of the shop. There was even a tiny version of Mr. Jenkins behind the counter. But the weirdest part was when I looked closer at the dolls. They were moving. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear those little dolls were moving around like they were alive. And they were looking at me, their tiny eyes following me wherever I went. I tried to shut the dollhouse, but it wouldn't close. It was like something was holding it open. That's when things really started to get freaky. I heard footsteps coming from the attic stairs, but when I looked, there was nobody there. And then I felt something grab my ankle, like a cold hand reaching out from the darkness. I screamed and tried to run, but it was like I was stuck in glue. I could feel something pulling me back toward the dollhouse, like it didn't want me to leave. I struggled and fought with all my might until finally, I broke free and ran out of that attic as fast as I could. I never went back to that antique shop again, and I quit my job the next day. But to this day, I can't shake the feeling that something evil was lurking in that dollhouse. And I thank my lucky stars that I only just made it out alive. So, take it from me, folks. Some things are better left untouched, especially when they're cursed. And if you ever come across a creepy old dollhouse in an attic, do yourself a favor and run the other way. Trust me, you'll thank me later.